another amazing episode on EWL podcast. I am super excited as usual. You're welcome to another amazing episode on EWL podcast, Experience with Luchi podcast, and I'm here to speak about something that is really important in different aspects of our relationship, be it platonic relationship, romantic relationship, siblings relationship. Generally, I'm here to speak about something that has to do with communication. I have been one that I think I have communicated way too much and it backfired in a lot of my relationship. I feel like I just give too much information just because I want to get clarity on some things. So I think communicating way too much can be a problem to relationship. Why, on the other hand, some people do not even have the capacity to communicate. I don't think they even know what it means to have conversations, just again, to get their point straight or to get clarity on some situation. So before we get right into it, hello, guys. You are welcome to another amazing episode on EWL Podcast. Don't forget that this podcast is a platform for you to be expressive and a reality check. I'm your host, Deficiency Glory, and as usual, I'm here with a very interesting topic. And I titled today's topic Communication Deficiency. And in it, we're going to talk about every circle has a crack. So it's a very broad topic, but I'm going to just again tell a story on today's episode and we can just, if I get the chance to talk about this topic again, communication, whether it's deficiency or communicating properly, I would let you know. But on today's topic, which is communication deficiency, I am talking about our lack of communication. In as much as we claim to communicate to a very large extent, there are just some communications that are really sensitive. Some conversations I think they're really sensitive. I remember speaking to my friend about it. At what point do you think it is okay for you to just keep quiet? It is okay for you to just let go of that communication issue, even though you know not communicating has caused a lot of issue. But is it for the greater good? Do you think keeping quiet would solve that problem at that point? Because I've been in a situation where I feel like I need to communicate to my friend, or to communicate to my man, or to communicate to my brother, or to communicate to my sister, that there are certain cracks in your behavior that I do not agree with. And that is why I said in brackets, every circle has a crack. I think no matter how transparent we think we are as people, I love to think I'm very transparent, but I keep telling people that care to listen that I don't think I am as blunt as I want to be, because I think that if I should say things the way they come to my mind, I think it's going to be really rude. And that's why I say that not all of us have gotten to that point where we say we are 100 transparent with everything we do. And that is why I speak about communication deficiency again. So this is a story. I am not going to call names because I don't want to put out a story that I'm not sure I want to put out there. But I'm just going to give you the nature of the story. There's two stories, something I'm aware of and something that I have been involved in. So in a crack of friends where you know that this person has a very funny behavior, and all of you are talking about this behavior. Everybody's saying, oh, this person does this. Or you've spoken to the person and you're like, you've not come directly to the person and say, oh, I think this your behavior has caused a lot of problems and I think you should work on it. Everybody's talking about it, but nobody is bold enough to go tell that person in question that I think you have a very big issue and I think you should work on it. So I've been in a situation where I remember asking my mom about the same thing, that if everybody is saying this person does this particular thing, do you think it's wise for you to go meet the person to bring out or to air your view on what you think about this particular behavior? Because I think sometimes you end up getting gaslighted and you are like reacting to things that you are aware of what the problem is, but you are scared to point out the problem. It's not even a question of being scared, it's just a question of, would you exposing this matter, would it save the relationship? Is it going to solve any problem at that point? And that is why I say some of us communicate way too much. I've been in a situation where I went to speak to somebody about something, and okay, whatever. So I went to a boarding school, female, all girls. So we had this issue where one of my teacher was complaining about one of my friend, and I was there when one of the teachers was saying that my other friend is influencing the other friend negatively. And I heard it, but not directly from the. I heard it, but I heard it again, not directly from the teacher's mouth. I heard it from one of my friends as well. So we're having this round table discussion, and I felt like everybody was saying this girl's acting up, that even this person has said it. And I thought that we're having a very honest conversation. And I just pointed out, hey, I have something to say. Oh, even teachers are saying that you are acting up, that you are being influenced by one of your friends too. And everybody just turned to where I was. I was like, who made this statement? Like, who said it? Where did I hear this story from? And I say, this person told me now. So why is everybody acting like it's New Year? And that is how we went to go ask the person I said that told me the story. And the person denied me, like, when did I tell you that? When did I have that conversation with you? And me being, I was too stunned to talk. I was too shocked to even say anything. And I was like, but you told me something like this now. I thought we were being friends. I think all of us are speaking about it, that everybody's saying this girl has a very weird behavior and she's acting up, and you feel like she's being influenced by one of us. But at that point, everybody just stood still. Nobody was acknowledging to the fact that we've had this discussion, we've talked about it, and we even agreed that we're going to bring it to her. But in that moment when I brought it up, when I agreed that there was a problem that needed to be sorted out, everybody everybody was not saying anything. It was as if I have it was as if I have had a lot to say about the issue and nobody was saying anything. In other words, I think I communicated too much. I think I got too vulnerable to the extent that I did not even check if it was going to backfire on myself. In other words, I've had relationship where I confronted the person in question. I was certain behaviors that I was not comfortable with, to the extent that if I felt like I was being overlooked because of certain situation the person had, even though it was really sensitive talk, I would bring it up because I would bring it up because I feel like if I don't talk about it, my chest will not be able to handle it. I don't like bottling things up. I like saying it exactly as it is most of the time. But I think one thing that have helped me is, in as much as I do not agree with being diplomatic as a person, I think one thing that has helped with communication deficiency, as is what we are talking about today, is my ability to be diplomatic. In as much that I feel this way, I want to tell you how I'm feeling, exactly how I'm feeling. I have learned to be diplomatic about certain things. So sometimes, even when I'm not communicating, I am communicating. But on the other hand, I disagree with that method, but it's something that has worked with a lot of my relationship. Even when everybody is saying, oh, we have to address this issue. And I've heard people older than me say, if nobody's willing to address the issue, you don't have to be the one to always address an issue. But for me, it's coming from a place of, I just feel like communication should always, like, we should always have that two-way communication. If I feel like you are not doing well as my friend, if I feel like you're not acting the right, and again, people will ask me, how do I know this is the right way to act? And I'm like, it's just common sense. Everybody have their own bad behavior. Everybody can choose to be mad, but we just try to hide our madness a lot of the times by communicating, by having same conversation, by having same relationship. But in a situation where I cannot even be able to have like a very sincere conversation with people I I assume to be cool with, like what is going on in this age and time. You cannot have, I don't think anybody have that 100% sincere conversation anymore. That communication. I am so, like, I love communication to the extent that I would want you to tell me exactly how it is, just for us to be clear about a lot of things. Because even when you're being diplomatic with issues, sometimes it backfires because people will tell you, oh, you did not tell me straight up that this is what you meant. But you're trying to be diplomatic to save the relationship at that point, or to save a particular um, circumstance or situation at that point. So communication deficiency is just something I think a lot of us are going through. Sometimes we communicate way too much. Sometimes we do not communicate at all just to save face or to save the relationship in question. But again, a wise man will tell you that communication is key. But the question is how much communication is too much. Like, how do you know when to communicate and when not to communicate if someone is saying communication is key? And another situation I found myself in is I'm being honest about something, and I feel like my feelings at that point are not being is not being understood, or my feelings at that point is not being reciprocated. If I'm trying to communicate to you and it looks like I'm speaking to a wall, I don't think next time when we are in a space where I need to communicate, I would want to communicate with you. So, in as much as communication is something that is very important, the reason for this topic, the reason for me saying it is I want to get you guys' opinion on when you think communication is too much. Sometimes you just have to keep quiet, or when you think communication is not even needed at all, which I'm finding it hard to even process. Speaking of this topic, is something I'm trying so hard to process. When it's communication deficiency occurring, because I don't even know at this point. Sometimes people just shy away from the truth because they feel like it's going to harm the relationship. And I know, because I am in a situation where I feel like I need to speak to my friend about something, but I feel like if I hate, especially when no, not everybody is bold enough to have those kind of serious conversations. And you think that when you have those conversations, it's going to harm that relationship. When when you say things and you feel like you need to communicate this to the person, but it's already a done deal. You know, when you bring that up, the friendship is done, the relationship is done. What do we do? What should be done at that point? And how do you infect communication regardless? Because I feel if it's not now, in the future, lack of communication will bring about a lot of cracks. Again, why I said every circle has a crack. So I don't know. I would really, really, really love your opinion on this topic. When is communication needed? And when do you think communication is becoming excessive? Do you think excessive communication is, I don't know, is there ever anything like excessive communication? Another question I have in mind. Everything is just happening here. I'm trying, and I cannot even like give a proper story without it being sensitive, because I'm not getting to that point where I want to like say everything on my podcast, but a lot of things are just sensitive, guys. And because I'm used to just saying it, or like, oh, I think we should have this conversation. Oh, I think you did this. Oh, we should discuss about it. And when you've been put in situations where it's even difficult for you to even say how you're feeling, because people just feel like you're dramatic. People just feel like you're a lot. So a lot of time they tend to like, just for peace sake, you just tend to boss up yourself and go with the flow. I don't even know if that's the right thing to do, but sometimes you just have to like cap everything down just to make everything soft and calm, to reduce chaos and everything. Even though people think, even though it's a lot going through my head. But for what I've said so far, like, you can communicate to me on the comment section what you think about excessive communication and not communicating at all. And what is your thought on communication deficiency? And if you have gone through that phase in your life where you think that you communicated too much and it backfired, or you kept quiet and it also backfired, please leave it on the comment section and let us interact with it. You can leave your comment section on all platforms, on Anchor, Spotify, and on YouTube. Okay, guys, don't forget to stream this podcast on Anchor, Spotify, and YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are aiming for more subscribers. I would really appreciate I would really appreciate a like and your subscription, guys. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to follow me across all social media handles at Luchi on Instagram, on X, formerly Twitter, and on Facebook. We also have a podcast page, EWR podcast, guys. I always say this: let's spread love, because God is love. Love is God. Have an amazing week. Bye, guys.